and national level, contributing significantly to the policy making and implementation in the field of yoga and naturopathy. A true polymath, Dr. Bhavnani's accomplishments extend beyond academia, encompassing a rich tapestry of artistic endeavors, including Indian classical music and dance. Balyogi sir's prolific literary output, comprising 34 books, 19 DVDs and over 350 papers and abstracts on yoga and yoga research, reflects his deep-rooted passion and unwavering commitment to disseminating the ancient wisdom of yoga to the global audience. Dr. Bhavnani's dedication to advancing the science of yoga therapy has earned him international recognition, including being the first Indian to receive the certification as a yoga therapist, CIAYT, from the International Association of Yoga Therapists, USA. We are privileged to have Dr. Ananda Bhavanani sharing his insights and wisdom with us today. We are eager to listen to his keynote address, which promises to enlighten and inspire us on our journey to understanding the interplay between man and the mind. Let us extend a hearty welcome to Yogacharya Dr. Ananda Bhavanani sir with a huge round of applause. Thank you. I request Dr. Bhavnani to please take over.
It's been a great privilege to be here on this auspicious occasion of the centenary celebrations of the Maharashtriya Mandal and this international conference that has been inaugurated by none other than our dear Guruji, Dr. H.R. Nagendraji. I am going to be talking a very serious topic, and while the PPT is getting uploaded, I thought I will introduce you to something which is very practical. Do you want something very practical?
Yes.
Okay. Have you any anxiety? How many people have anxiety? How many people have stress? See, if you don't have stress, you are not alive. See the Sadhara. Only the dead person has no stress. Everybody who is alive has stress. We all have anxiety. So I'm going to teach you how to get rid of anxiety through a practice which is using the power of Nada. Nada, which is vibration. So Nada is being used to create a Bhavana Shuddhi. Our attitude has to be cleansed. And it is an action, so it is a Kriya. Nada Bhavana Shuddhi Kriya. You want to learn it?
Yes.
Fine. So the first anxiety we all have, performance anxiety. You know, before you have to give a talk, what happens to your stomach? Butterflies. It will sink. You have to go and sing on stage. Instead of going on stage, you'll run to the toilet. That moment only suddenly nature will call. You know, performance anxiety, when you have to give a presentation, when you have to perform, when you have an exam. So performance anxiety, how do you get rid of it? It is totally in the abdominal region. So the sound for that, to release it is a sound, ha. Okay? Can we put our hand on the abdomen? Okay. Ha. Ha. See, there are so many of you, I'm one person, one against many. Ha. 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 I don't need mic. Ha. 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 Second anxiety, relationship anxiety in the chest. Will they like me? Won't they like me? Will they give me a flower bouquet? Or will they throw rotten eggs at me? You know, we all have that relationship. 2 days ago, everybody had that likes me, not like me. All that nonsense goes on in our head. So this you want to let go. How do you do? The sound is ho. See, when you say that sound, see when I say ha, the Nabi chakra, that area of the navel will resonate. Ha. Now ho. Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Good. So performance anxiety, ha. Relationship anxiety, ho ho. Now very dangerous, ego anxiety. I am principal, I am director, I am professor, I am chief guest, I am president. So how people will walk, you know, when they have this is very, very strong, they'll walk like this. This will be lifting up like that. You can see how much the ego will lift like that from here. How do you get rid of this? So we always take offense. They didn't respect me. They disrespected me. Why? Because I was expecting respect. Because I think I am very special, so I expect respect, so I get offended. Offense is never given, offense is always taken. So that, the sound up here is he. And you will feel the vibration. So, ha. Ho. He. Now the most dangerous klesha, according to Maharishi Patanjali, is abhinivesha. Swarasavahi vidusho api samarudaha abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is survival instinct. I have to survive. Me. So how do we work on that? Me. Okay? That me makes you very mean. And then you change to the prefrontal cortex. This is brainstem, survival. This is prefrontal cortex and you go the. It is the buddhi, okay? The. So you shift me. Okay, you can get the shift and then finally we realize it's all waste. So we say go. Now let us all stand up. We should do this standing. Come on. Dynamic. Ready to release all anxiety. Ha. Ho. He. Me. They. Go. Ha. Ho. Now you can sit down. You see, before I started, 10% of audience was smiling. Now 100% of audience is smiling. Are you all smiling?
Yes.
Are you smiling? Yes. Are you smiling? Yes. So when you smile, you know what happens? When you smile, people smile back at you. A smile costs you nothing, it gives you everything. That is why my name my parents gave us Ananda. Always be happy, always smile. My father said, if you do not smile and make others smile, you are not living up to your name. Okay?
Yes.
Now, today, I am talking about a topic a bit more serious now. Yoga as a therapy where we want to bring together the ancient wisdom with a modern scientific approach. Next slide. We know where we are, and this is the event. Next slide. This is the parampara, Guru parampara to which I belong. You can see on one side my beloved father, Swami Geetananda Giri Guru Maharaj. On the other side, Guru Mata, Ammaji, Meenakshi Devi, Bhavnani, and the Guru parampara that goes back on one side to Saiva Siddhanta tradition of Rishi Agastya. On another side, the Bengali Tantric tradition going all the way back to Maharishi Bhrigu. So two traditions coming together in my father's teaching, and I'm continuing it. Next one. At our university, if I can have a hand mic, I can turn a little easily. If not, it's okay. No, it's fine. At our university, Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth, we have an institute of salitogenesis and complementary medicine. So the first question, how many of you have heard of salitogenesis? Anybody? Okay, one or two who have attended my lecture. Okay? Have you heard of pathogenesis? Right? Pathogenesis, what is causing the disease? Salitogenesis is what is causing health and wellness. So rather than thinking of disease all the time, dukkha, people are doing a japa. Dukkha, and so Bhagavan says, you want more dukkha, here's some more, 5 more kilos. If you do on sukha, then sukham will manifest. If you do dukkham will manifest. If you keep on saying pain, how will you heal? You have to say healing. That is why salitogenesis is our motive. Next one. Next slide, please. So, as we can see, salus is wellness, genesis is from Greek. What are the factors that are enabling wellness to manifest? Next slide. Keep going down here. So, the sense of coherence, I'm giving you a little bit because salitogenesis is the key aspect of yoga chikitsa, yoga therapy. So, here, a sense of coherence that I can understand my life better and I can do something about my life. That is a very important part of coherence. So the next one, please. The next slide. You can come down here. The first part is my world is understandable. I can understand my world. That is the most important first part. Second part is my world is manageable. Third, my world has meaning. So you ask yourself, do you understand your world? Do you think you can manage your world? And does your world have meaning? Then you have sense of coherence, wellness is manifesting. But most people, sir, I don't understand my life, sir. I don't know where it is going, sir. What is the use of living also, I don't know, sir. They are totally incoherent. Incoherent is illness. Coherence is wellness. Next one. Next slide, please. So here, I'm giving you a comparison. When we talk of pathogenesis, what causes disease? So what is causing disease is the first part. There, what is causing health? We want to avoid problem. Doctors are only trying to avoid problem. So it is disease-based, not healthcare, it is disease care today. We want to reach the potential. That is where yoga comes in. We want to reach the potential. We are not worried about absence of disease. We want presence of health. We are not only looking at arogya, we are looking at swasthya. There's a big difference. Arogya is the absence of disease. Swasthya is a state of being established in the swasth, your own self, the swa. And again, if you look at this illness-wellness continuum, modern medicine is always looking only on treatment. how to prevent the death, disability, sign, symptom, whereas the wellness is awareness, education, moving towards. So salatogenesis is not negating disease, it is including disease but going all the way to the highest level of health and wellness. Next one. So if you look at it, dis-ease is where you are not at ease with yourself. You have lost that sukham. Whereas in ease, you are regaining your sukha sthanam. My mother used to say, a point where you are at ease with yourself is the sukha sthanam. Now, Rudyard Kipling, you know what is the book he wrote which is very famous? Jungle Book. Now he made a statement, he lived in India for a long time and he made a statement, he said, East is east and west is west and never the twain shall meet. But I would like to tell him, I don't know, this is not moving. Is it connected? Yeah. So I like to tell Mr. Kipling, sorry they have met through yoga. And you can see even his most famous character, Mowgli, is nowadays doing yoga. Fine. And that is why if you look at it in modern medicine, especially in Western countries, they have embraced the mind-body therapies such as yoga. Because what is yoga doing? It is creating integration. Yujyate anena iti yoga. And if you look in the UK, see in India, still in our modern medicine, you don't find this. In UK already the National Health Service is saying that yes, yoga is useful. So first American has to say, then the English have to say, and then we'll accept. When our traditional people say, we say no, there's no science. We want to practice what they call evidence-based medicine. See, we have to understand evidence of thousands of years of our Rishi Parampara is greater than any modern evidence. And if you look at USA, they find why are people doing yoga? Why are they doing meditation? I'm going to come back to this today. Because very popularly people today are saying yoga and meditation. They are saying yoga and pranayama. I would like to request that you never say that, please. Meditation, dhyana is the heart of yoga. Don't diverse it. Pranayama is an essential component of Ashtanga yoga. Do not take it away. Yoga and meditation, yoga and pranayama. Please do not use such terms. Westerners can use, not people in our country. And why are they doing? You can see that to maintain health and well-being. They are looking at specific medical conditions, especially musculoskeletal. That is where your work with physical education is so important. When yoga and physical education come together, you can start to look at some amazing issues, especially injuries amongst our star athletes. And what I like there in the USA, 22% of the people said the doctor recommended it. How many doctors in India will recommend? You have to think about that. And they look, why are people doing yoga? They are doing because there is flexibility, stress relief, general fitness, physical fitness. But what is very important, you look at the people, they said 86% said strong sense of mental clarity, and 79 developed a seva bhavana. Through the yoga practice, they wanted to give back to the society. That is where yoga comes. Mad to mind and beyond, that is where yoga comes in. And yoga therapy today, if you go to PubMed, which is the gold standard of research, recently I had a look just before the end of the year, 7,488 papers mentioning yoga therapy. And you can see here how this is the last part, closer. So basically from around 1990 onwards is where this huge spike of publications are there. Index publications, gold standard PubMed. And my own yoga research mentor, Professor Madan Mohan Ji, a pioneer of bringing yoga and modern medicine together, where you can see students at JIPMA, this was about 15, 16 years ago, where we were bringing the yoga into the medical students' curriculum. Today at our university, we continue it also. And in 1982, the publication of Mother Mohan sir and my own father on Savitri Pranayama, you can see, and this was when B.K. Sayangar ji was at our ashram in 1980s, and Dr. Madan Mohan is also there. He continues to guide us in our work at our university. I always use his image because we should remember those who have done the work before us, the giants who have come before us. Never think we have done it for the first time. Now this is being taken forward. We have Satbir, we have Vijlani sir, we have Shirley Tellis, Larry Payne and Dean Ornish. Amazing work they have done, which also is being done here. And we have amazing textbooks of yoga therapy today, including my own textbook on yoga therapy. Recently Vijay has brought out a beautiful book for the YCB. Please, if you are looking at going into YCB certification, he has amazing books also. And you can see how this is becoming standard. But I want to remind you, yoga therapy is not different or separate from yoga. Yoga therapy in this Venn diagram is one small circle within the greater circle of yoga. It is neither greater nor outside yoga. So don't think yoga therapy is something separate. I'm going to give you some understanding because all of you are in academia, you understand science. And we want to communicate our traditional rishis, that rishi culture, with the modern medical understanding. So the first level is we all know Panchakosha. So you say, yes sir, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. And I've given you here a way that it can explain both. Because some tradition go from inside out, some go from outside in. So I've given an option for both here. Why am I saying both are right? Because I am suggesting there is a cellular Panchakosha. Because Panchakosha, we keep on thinking, it's one wearing one sweater on top of another sweater on top of another jacket with underwear inside, which is your Pranamaya Kosha. That is not what it is. All things are happening in the same place. Imagine a cell. What is a cell? It is having a structure. So what kosha is the structure of the cell? Annamaya Kosha. Right? Second, this cell is functioning. If it can function, it means prana is moving. So that what is that functional part? It is Pranamaya Kosha. It just will help me prevent AM Dukkan Anagatam, not getting a neck pain after this talk. That is why I am practicing Patanjali's AM Dukkan Anagatam. Prevent those miseries. So, first part. What is the first part? Structure. Annamaya Kosha. Cell is functioning. So, it is physiology. Pranamaya Kosha. Now, the cell knows what it is to do. A liver cell will only produce the liver cell function. Kidney cell will only do kidney cell function. Liver cell will not do a lung cell. A lung cell will not do a neurons function. It has a manomaya kosha, knowing what to do. So it has a cellular memory. The cellular memory, we talk of cellular memory, that is cell's manomaya kosha. It has intelligent feedback mechanism. When to increase insulin, when not to increase insulin, the beta cells, they know. If there is more sugar, there is more insulin. If there is less sugar, there is glucagon. That is its Vijnanamaya Kosha. And every cell, trillions of cells in your body are connected to all other cells. That is the origin called Bluetooth connection. The cellular Bluetooth connection is Anandamaya Kosha. So right down at your cells you have the Pancha Kosha. So don't worry. Someone says Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Somebody says Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. It doesn't matter. Both are the same. Because everything is happening at the same time in the same place. And one of my dear friends, Acharya Birju in Gujarat, has even tried to correlate this with the epigenetics. And I suggest that you look up his book also. See, I'm not only selling my book, I'm selling Vijay's book, I'm selling Acharya Birju's book. Because I believe all of us should grow together. Sahana bhavatu, sahana gunattu. Not only Ananda should grow. All should grow together. When I say all should be blessed, it includes me. I don't have to say all plus Ananda. And do you have to say that? All be blessed. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Everybody, including me, I don't have to say Sarve plus Ananda. You don't need that. He has given a very beautiful concept which you can take there. Now another very beautiful concept that our ancients had is that you have the challenges and you have your skills. On one side, challenge should be high. On the other side, your skill should be high. If challenge is high and your skill is high, you come into what is called flow. The phenomenon called flow in psychology. Now what do our ancients call it? Yoga karmasu kaushalam. That is the beauty. Already it is there. The concept of flow. When you are not attached to your action, karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana, when you have that. And when yogastha kurkarmani sankam tyatva dhananjaya siddhya asiddhayo samabhutva. All of these come together and they all work together. Thank you for saving my neck. Now my neck is safe. And I can also move. So you can see my pura panchakosha. Otherwise you only seeing ekakosha. Similarly, another very beautiful concept in yoga is what we call spanda nishpanda. That is activation, deactivation. And we know what is activation? Sympathetic nervous system. You have seen people when they are stressed. Will they do well?
No.
If you are like this, nothing will happen. An archer who is like this will overshoot the target. A bowler who is like this will bowl wide. That is what will happen. And then Ashwin will move like this. I don't know if you have followed that. Wide and Ashwin moving like this. Helped India win against Pakistan down under. Sympathetic, parasympathetic. This sympathetic, parasympathetic balance is very important because if you are not relaxing, you will not heal. We talked about athletes and their injuries. If you teach the athlete vigorous asana, it will not work. You have to teach the athlete to let go. You have to teach them to relax. When they relax, they will heal. Stress response will never help you heal. Relaxation response will facilitate the healing response. And that is why in yoga, relaxation is the key. And as a medical doctor, I believe that relaxation is yoga's greatest contribution to modern healthcare. Because if a doctor wants to help a patient heal, we don't have medicine to heal. We can reduce your blood sugar, we can reduce your blood pressure, we can try to fight the cancer. Can I help you heal? There's no medicine. How do you induce the healing response? By facilitating relaxation response. And that is why, and again, you don't need a medicine. Because most of the time, if the doctor wants you to relax, what will they give you? Alprazolam. Alprax. Now, because you take Alprax, what will happen? Addiction हो जाएगा. पहले 0.25 milligram, उसके बाद 0.5 milligram, उसके बाद 0.75, 1, 2, 3, and then you cannot let go of it. Now, it is better you get addicted to Shavasana and Yoga Nidra, then get addicted to Alprax. I'll tell you that much. Another important concept, we know of pranayama. How does pranayama work into the system? Sinus arrhythmia. In physiology, we have a very, very simple phenomenon. Whenever you breathe in, what happens? Your heart rate will become faster. Because breathing in is stressful. When the baby is first born, what does it do? Oh my God, I've come again on this planet. Made a mistake. I thought I'm going some other planet. I've come back. Again, you know, when you start crying, everybody's happy. Baby is good. Apgar score is good. See, when you breathe in, inspiration is always sympathetic. Expiration is always parasympathetic. Inspiration is active. Expiration is passive. Now what happens here? When in pranayama, we enhance the exhalation. That is why in yoga, what do we say for pranayama? If you breathe in for 6 count, breathe out for 12 count. When you breathe out for a longer duration, what happens? Parasympathetic tone is enhanced. Parasympathetic tone is enhanced, sympathetic tone will go down, the person will start to heal themselves. And if you want, if I say, okay, now we'll breathe in for 6 count, breathe out for 12. Sir, not possible, sir. Very difficult, sir. How can you help them breathe out? Add the nada. Okay, let's all breathe in. Now let's breathe out with a sound. Easily you did double. We can breathe in. Now the sound. Very nice exhalation, long exhalation, parasympathetic recruited. Again. Now let's combine. Breathe in. Just doing this, you have already lowered your heart rate. You have already lowered your blood pressure. You have already lowered all your stress hormone. And that is why this practice we call Pranava Pranayama is we have documented. You can go and Google, you just put Bhavanani Yoga. There's no other Bhavanani in yoga in the whole world. So very easy. If you put Ananda, there's a problem. All Bhavanani are in business. This Bhavanani doesn't know business. Okay, you saw I'm always promoting other people's books. You can see my 25% Sindhi is not working. Okay, my 100% yoga genetics is working. So here this is a very important one. And why does this help? Something called cardiac cycle. If your heart is beating 75 times per minute, I don't know for whom it is beating, but anyway, 75 times per minute it is beating. What happens is 0.8 seconds for one cardiac cycle. 60 divided by 75, simple mathematics. Now, in that 0.8 second cardiac cycle, 0.5 is to receive the blood, 0.3 is to pump it out. Okay. Now what happens? You have to receive the blood, the heart has to receive the blood and then it has to pump. But what is happening is that most of the time people are in stress. So if you are stressed, your heart rate goes up, it becomes 120. Now how much time for cardiac cycle? 60 divided by 120, 0.5. So cardiac cycle of 0.8 has become 0.5. But the systole part will say, no negotiation, I still want 0.3. He still wants his pound of flesh like Shylock in Merchant of Venice. Right? I still want 0.3. So then poor thing, diastole, what has happened? Instead of having 0.5, it only has 0.2. So what is happening? Less blood is received. Now next time it pumps, how much will be pumped? Again less will be pumped. So you see, the faster your heart goes, the less effective your heart will be. Now when you do the long exhalation, your heart rate is coming down. What is happening? Your heart is becoming more efficient. So it can beat better for whomsoever it is beating. That is the power. And another very important point, the heart is a karma yogi. It is always thinking of other people, it is not thinking of itself. So the heart, when it is doing systole, you know systole का मतलब क्या है? Contraction. Systole में क्या है? पूरा शरीर को it is working. The vyana sarva shariragaha is happening. But it is not supplying itself. When the heart is in systole, it is supplying the whole body, but it is not supplying itself. Now what has happened when your heart becomes faster, less time for diastole, less supply to itself. When you slow the heart rate down, there is more time for diastole. It is in diastole that the coronary arteries are circulating. And this is why slowing down the heart rate through pranayama is more important than standing in Shirsasana. And that is why yoga therapy is not about difficult asana. It is not about holding kumbhaka for 3.5 minutes. It is very simple practices applied for that individual. Then it becomes yoga therapy. Teaching 5 asanas for diabetes and 6 practices for hypertension, I am sorry to say, is not yoga therapy. I call it yogopathy. like allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, yogopathy, symptomatic management. You are not looking at the root. This is where another concept. If you look at your lungs, there are 10 bronchopulmonary segments in the right, 10 in the left, which means that you are having a total area of 20 segments to breathe in. The yogis understood this thousands of years ago. They said you can breathe into the front, side, back, front, side, back, front, side, back. का मतलब है 9 areas they have given us. This is called Vibhaga Pranayama. And you will say this is 20, this is 18. Thousands of years they are saying 18, only now modern medicine knows it's 20. Okay, so, and actually there are another 3 areas that have to come. That's a different story. This we can do a series of practices. When you do these practices in our tradition, we call them the hatena. They are forcing the energy into parts of the lung. So the practices which are related to Ushtrasana will help the lower chest breathing. Practices related to Matsyasana, the mid chest. The next practices which we call Nikunjasana and a variation on Mahamudra here, not the classical Mahamudra, a different one for upper chest, and the Vyagra Pranayama, Sharabha Chiri Kriya for the complete lung. These are practices we have shown to help in COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and in patients who have diabetes suffering diabetic lung. Now nobody thinks of diabetic lung, they think of kidneys, eyes and all. And that is why when we are inhaling, there is a pattern. If you look at this pattern, the pattern of inhalation and the pattern of exhalation are both different. Why are they different? The pathway of inhalation is like your Pingala Nadi. The pathway of exhalation is like the Ida Nadi. And that is why inhalation and exhalation, when balanced properly, is working with the nadis themselves, not just breathing. Again, we know of the Pancha Prana Vayu. So they said, oh, some scripture is given. No, it is absolutely modern understanding is there. When you say the prana in the heart, Hridi prano gude apana samana nabi mandale, Udana kanta deshasto vyana sarva shariragaha. I believe Shiva Samhita says that. What it is saying, each of these energies, the whole energy of respiration and the heart function is the prana. Digestion is samana. Excretion, elimination is the apana. So we can understand the traditional concept with a modern perspective. So that otherwise people say, oh, this is all makeup. It is not makeup. It is all real. We have not understood it. Now we can understand it through also the scientific prism. Another concept today, psychoneuroimmunology. We understand that especially during COVID, you heard this word a lot. PNI during COVID. Because the more stressed you became, your immunity went down, more likely to get COVID, because of which you are more stressed and so you got COVID. This is what happens. How your mind and emotions will impact your hypothalamus, impact your pituitary, impact your immune system. And what did our yogis already call this? The chakra system. Already it is in our tradition, already it is there. We don't have to reinvent it. We just have to re-understand it. We have to understand it in the modern terms. Nothing is wrong in our scriptures. Nothing is by mistake in our scriptures. We have not tried to understand it. A simple example, prana vayu, one of the prana vayu, which goes throughout the body, dhyana. Now, dhyana is an energy. But because it is called vayu, many people by mistranslation, they say there is wind. Vayu means wind. Wind in my toes. See, if you go to a scientific person and you say there's wind in my toes, will they believe anything else you say? Wind in your nose is okay, not wind in your toes. It is the energy moving. We have mistranslated, we have misrepresented our culture and made people laugh at us. If we can explain in a term, and this is why we need people, not just medical people learning yoga, you need human bridges. They have to understand the yogic science, they have to understand the modern science. Then this conversation can happen. And what is this? Einstein's E is equal to mc square. That is what our chakras are. Energy. What is energy? Mass speeded up to the square of the speed of light. What is that square of the speed of the light? The power of our mind. And the focused mind, which is called the mind which is utilized in samyama. The whole Vibhuti-pada. Who wants to read the Vibhuti-pada? Nobody. Everybody looks only at the first two. Samadhi-pada, Sadhana-pada. Vibhuti-pada, they'll say, nah, that is all some claim, I will not study it. Vibhuti-pada is the most important part of the whole Yoga Darshana. That is why I love it. Because Maharishi Patanjali has shown us the power of a focused mind. When your mind is one-pointed and continuous flow to the level of absorption in whatever you are contemplating, your energy level will come into it. You will move from mass into energy. And again, we realize that what is stress doing? Nervous system, endocrine system, immune system. And where does this start? Perceived stimulus. The whole stress response, where does it start? I perceive something to be stressful. I am afraid of you. The moment I see you, my BP goes up. I am not afraid of you. The moment I see you, I am relaxed. You are not the problem. My perception of you is the problem. And that is why Pratipaksha Bhavanam is one of the greatest tools of yoga. Change the way you look at life. Change the way you look at challenges. Change the way you look at people, society and the world. And then you move from pathogenesis to salitogenesis. And this is why, my dear, another mentor, Selvamurthy sir, so beautifully said at a recent talk he gave us, yoga is modifying the perception of the stressor, optimizing the response to the stressor, and releasing the pent-up stress. You know, we went go. We threw away all the stress. And so it is a 3-in-1 action. That is where I come back to salitogenesis. Antonovsky, who has given us salitogenesis, says there is a stressor. When that stressor comes into you, either you can become a better version of yourself or you can end up dying. Same stressor that may kill you can make you a better person. How you perceive it. And that is why that perception of the tension, either you can go on to H plus, which is health, or H minus, which is disease. And that is where the stress brought in a negative aspect, yoga brings in a positive aspect to the nervous system, the immune system, and the endocrine system. And that is why we see today that yoga has been shown to reverse heart disease, respiratory disorders, children with special needs. We do a lot of work with children with special needs at our university. You can go online and see there are about 183 publications in the last 13 years. Metabolic syndrome. But what is important? Perceived stress scale. Every study you do, you show that PSS, perceived stress scale, goes down. So yoga is helping us to perceive the world better. That is the salutogenic perspective. And again, mental health, cardiovascular disease and respiratory, these are the 3 places where yoga has maximum benefit from the studies that have been done till now. And this is something which I think you can all understand and experience. What is yoga therapy? It is working on body, mind and spirit. How does it work on the body? Restores function. That is what we want. I cannot walk up the stairs. Can yoga help me walk up the stairs? I cannot, move from one room to another without becoming breathless. Can yoga help me manage my day-to-day life? Yes. Can it create healing? Yes. Does it reduce suffering? Your perception of the world itself changes and so the suffering goes down. Dukkha will go down. Dukkha. That is the thing, that ha of the dukkha, the destruction of the dukkha, when everything is done as it is to be done. Yuktaha viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha ha. What is that ha? Destroy. When it is done properly, not too much, not too less. And in spirit, create community, create a satsang, create people with whom you can be healthy, not people who pull you down. Again, Patanjali has given us, he says, Maitri Karuna Muditopekshanam Sugadukka Punya Vishayana Bhavanataha Chitta Prasadanam. When there are people who pull you down, avoid them. What do? People who pull us down, we go and we hug them. And then we suffer. Have that viveka, that is most important. And so we need to move from a pathogenic orientation to a salutogenous orientation. It is a leap we have to make. And that is where WHO definition of health. What is WHO definition of health? That it has physical, mental, social, and sometimes they use the term spiritual. Spiritual is hidden, not public. It is hidden, you have to understand it. Now these 4 domains, only in the last 50-60 years WHO has talked about. 2,500 years ago, Maharishi Patanjali has given it to us. How did he give us? Ashtanga Yoga. What do Yama and Niyama give us? Social health. What do Asana Pranayama give us? Physical health. Pratyahara and Dharana, mental health. Dhyana and Samadhi, spiritual health. 2,500 years ago, he has already given us that 4 domains. How to deal with the 4 domains. You want to have social health, you want to be socially healthy, practice Yama Niyama. Today, how many yoga teachers are even mentioning Yama Niyama? Why? Sir, student will not come for class, sir. See the asana go, class will be full. You say Yama Niyama, next day nobody comes. How to pay rent, sir? How to survive in this dog-eat-dog world? Without Yama Niyama, it is not yoga. Please understand that much. Again, a very important aspect, Swara Yoga. A very important aspect. And in Swara Yoga, very simple. It's very complicated topic. Simple topic in this is right nostril, left nostril. Right nostril produces sympathetic activation. Left nostril induces relaxation. So, when you are stressed, which nostril you want to do? Left. Don't say right, then my whole talk is wasted. Huh? When you are stressed, you want left nostril. If you are very sleepy,
Right.
if your thyroid is not working properly, you want to enhance metabolism, right nostril. If you are not getting sleep, left nostril. If your BP is high, left nostril. If your BP is very low, okay, class khatam ho gaya. Very simple. See, we need to do, this is what the yogis did, so they put one yoga danda. We think they put yoga danda to take nice photo. No, they put yoga danda because they were manipulating the flow. Do I want to be in right flow? Because when that Surya Nadi is flowing, what is called Pingala Swara, you can do the activity, Raudra Karya, you can do that. When the Ida Swara is there, the Chandra Nadi is there, Saumya Karya has to be there. Not Raudra Karya for right, Saumya Karya for left. And when both are there, what are you to do? Sit and meditate. Sushumna Swara, sit and meditate. Today we don't look at the Swara. When it is Sushumna, we are fighting. When it is, I don't know what we are doing. We have become a mess. Because we are not analyzing ourselves. That is where Swarodaya Vigyan of Swara is a very important tool of Swadhyaya. And that is why Surya, you can do Surya Nadi or Surya Vedana for all of this. Because it is correcting all of these lower things. When you want to enhance the activity, when you want to reduce, when you want to calm down, left nostril. And as a yoga therapist with 30 years of working with patients, more than 300,000 patients I have seen in 30 years, I'll tell you one thing, 90% of people need left nostril. Everybody is stressed. So, if you don't know what to do, give left nostril. Okay, that is like how to answer multiple choice. If you don't know what to do, go for C. Most probably C will be the correct option. Like that. Again, meditation. Please remember, dhyana is the heart of yoga. Do not separate meditation and yoga. But what we find, And that is why you can see a beautiful infographic that was created by one of my students on how the different aspects come together. But please remember, you can reduce pain. How do you reduce pain? Because pain is usually because of the mind. People may have a fracture and not have pain. People may not have a fracture and have lots of pain. Because pain is a psychic phenomenon. And that is why the practice of meditation can enhance your pain threshold. How you can deal with pain. Again, as I said, it is part of the sanyama. Deshabandha chittasya dharana, and then tatra pratyaya ekakanata dhyanam, and going into it. But look how the modern medical dictionary is saying. They say an intentional and self-regulated focusing on attention to relax and calm the mind and body. They are only talking of dharana. They are only talking of dharana, focus. They are not talking of what happens after that. That is why we should not confuse meditation and dhyana. Please realize that. And according to these reviews that they have done, the perceived stress can come down, anxiety comes down, depression comes down, you can enhance quality of life, so many things are there. But please remember, until and unless it is done in the proper way, it is not dhyana. Most people think they are meditating, but they are sitting up and sleeping. Most of the time. You will see they'll start like this after some time. There. And what is happening along with this? Brain changes are happening. Then you can remodel your whole nervous system because you are going inside. And that is why this beautiful, I always look for these type of charts. Whenever you want to understand something, go for images. Google search, go for images. Don't go for text. Images will tell you so much. And this tells you so much. How the inflammation can come down. Inflammation is behind most of the chronic disorders. Perceived stress, the improved mood and sleep, cognition, and even epigenetics, telomerase. The telomeres are the ends of your chromosome that are slowly getting lost as you become older. And that is by an enzyme called telomerase. That activity can change. Gene expression. One of my professors of medicine, A.K. Das, he used to tell, people said, sir, my genetics is so bad, what can I do? He said, your genetics is like a loaded gun. Genetics is like a loaded gun. Whether the gun goes off or not depends on you pulling the trigger. You pulling the trigger is the lifestyle choices you make, is the attitude choices you make. That is what yoga changes. Yoga is changing the whole perspective of life from a dukkha sthana to a sukha sthana. And so they are suggesting that this can be used in stress-related conditions, anxiety disorders, panic attack. Now when somebody is having a panic attack, don't go and say, please sit and meditate. You have to teach them before that. So the moment they can start to feel the panic attack, the moment they feel the anxiety coming in, they can control it. When there is a problem in the dam, you should repair the dam. Not try to go and stand in front of it like some Superman and hold the water back. That is not possible. But you have to give people the tools. And who should you give the tools? The young people, the young children. The best punya karma you can do in your life is teach young kids yoga. Because if you can teach the young kids yoga, you have given them something for the whole life. I'm not saying other people should not learn, but teaching children, that has been my passion. When you can teach the children, you will change the future. Today there are hundreds of thousands of kids who I have taught over the last 40 years, my parents have taught over the last 55 years, who are changing the world because they are better human beings. They are fulfilling what I call Manushya Dharma by being good human beings. That is important. Later on it is okay. You are trying to mitigate the problem, you are reducing. It's like rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is always very nice, but prevention is better, right? So start with prevention. And that is why for healing, I have been talking about healing today. Curing is not so important. Healing is important. We need lifestyle, we need attitude, we need relaxation, we need breathing. And You don't have to go and find something new. It is there, we just have to use it properly. And that is why integrative medicine is creating an optimal healing environment. You want to help the person heal. And through that we move from alternative, complementary to integrative medicine. Integrative medicine is the future. And that is why if you look at what they call today bio, psycho, socio, spiritual model of wellness. The biological components, the sociological components, the psychological components, and don't forget, teen baar bol diya, spiritual component. That is the most important part. And that is why we have to move from the me to the we. So if the me, remember this is the me, to the the. Me doing Shirsasana is we. Okay, so as again Lord Krishna says, what is night to the yogi is day to the common person, and the reverse. He knew Americans and Indians are on different time zone. So relaxation is the key, as I said earlier. And today Ayush is doing this. I'll just run through how our Center for Yoga Therapy, Music Therapy since 2010 in our university is doing it. We are now an Institute of Salatogenesis Complementary Medicine, inaugurated in August 22. It's nice, 22/8/22, both sides palindrome by Dr. Bhushan Patwardhanji. And you can see the team there in our university and the work being done with patients who come. We have patients from all the departments coming to us, going into palliative, work with children with special needs, work in the wards themselves. We go right into the hospital because we are in a medical university. We have 2 medical colleges, 2 nursing colleges, dental college, physiotherapy, allied health. Everyone has an elective of yoga. And even in nursing curriculum, 90 hours of yoga therapy integrated into the curriculum. And work with the children with special needs. Again, out you can see in the medical records, when they are waiting to get registered, they will have some yoga, health camps, the antenatal Garbha Sanskar in the local PHCs. And so much of the research is there. I'm not going to go through this. You just type Bhavnani Yoga, it will all come out of there. All my PPTs are free for download. All my papers are online, free for download in academia or ResearchGate. All my videos, about 3,000 videos on YouTube, free for download. Because I believe in copy left, not copy right. Sabko dena. You should keep sharing. Sharing is great. So you can find these things. This one is very nice. Autism spectrum. We do a lot of work with autism spectrum and dentistry. The first publications of yoga and dentistry have come from our university. If you go for a root canal, and we all have a root canal, anxiety, through pranayama you can reduce the anxiety. You go for an angioplasty, through pranayama, relaxation and music therapy, you can reduce the anxiety. You go for endoscopy, give music therapy, reduce anxiety, endoscopy is better. So many, you name the department, we have worked with it. All these publications are online, you can see. And again, insulin resistance is what we have been working on for diabetes. Even in lymphedema, they have the elephant leg. We are not saying yoga will cure it, but the stigma, there's a lot of stigma associated. How can you reduce the stigma? How can you reduce the stress? Make life better for people. And all our students, you can see a Yoga Vyasa program. This is our medical students right in classroom. You can see the yoga going there. They come to us when they join, the nursing students, for our medical conferences. So the professors also get yoga, the students also get yoga. Chakrasi ko bhi yoga dete, director ko bhi yoga dete. We give it to all. The nursing candidates, so that when they go to the patient, they are not becoming a yoga therapist. Please don't get that confused. But when they are talking to a patient, they may say, why don't you try yoga? Or why don't you go to yoga, it may be useful. They become a brand ambassador for yoga. That is what they become. The nurse is a nurse, the doctor is a doctor, the physical therapist is a physical therapist. But they understand the benefit of yoga. And because of that, so many mass programs, because all our students get the yoga. And we had with us Guruji, who's been blessing me in all our work, my own Ammaji, Vigilani and others who are there. And of course, Shirley Tellis, Sridhar sir. And this I always like to share. My dear Dilip Sarkar, he was the past president of American Heart Association as well as the Yoga Therapy Association. And he said, this work of integration is 21st century medicine. I think that is one of the best compliments we have ever received. And I always end my talk reminding people, gratitude is the highest attitude. To be born human being is not easy. To have a house that you can live in is not easy. To be educated is not easy. To have people who you can talk to when you have problem is not easy. You have so much going for you. And we are always complaining. Always. God has not given me this. I don't have enough. Think of what you have. Because the moment you have gratitude, from that Kritanyata will come a new Bhavana called Seva Bhavana. And that Seva is the highest level of being a human being. From gratitude will come a desire to serve. And our team, a 10-member team for yoga therapy, music therapy, thanks you for this wonderful opportunity to be here. Special thanks to Pallavi, who not only invited me, she ragged me. Ragging is not allowed in colleges, but she ragged me saying, sir, you have to come, you have to come, you have to come, you have to come. I said, I'll come online. She said, we don't want Eka Kosha, we want Pancha Kosha Darshana. And so because of Pallavi's loving invitation, persistence, nagging, ragging, I am here. Thank you everybody for this wonderful time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful session and for teaching us how to get rid of anxiety through vibrations. Also for shedding light on how there is an integration of Panchakosh with human science and how relaxation is said to be the greatest contribution of yoga to the modern healthcare. Now I request Kangne sir